नमस्ते बिटिया, आई एम JVN doctor, Dr. Suman Shekhawat, Department of Kaya Chikitsa, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today we will discuss on examination of respiratory system. In the series of examination of respiratory system, now we will talk listening auscultation of the chest. Listen to the chest with the diaphragm, not the bell of the stethoscope. Chest sound are relatively high pitched and therefore the diaphragm is more sensitive than the bell. Ask the patient to take deep breath in and out through the mouth. Demonstrate what you would like the patient to do and then check visually that he is doing it while you listen to the chest. If the patient has a tendency to cough, ask him to breathe more deeply than usual, but not so much as to induce a cough with each breath. As with percussion, you should listen in comparable position to each side alternatively. Switch back and forth from one side to the other side to compare. Points to note on auscultation of the chest: vesicular breath sound, normal breath sound, bronchial breath sound, consolidation, vocal phlegmitis and resonance, whispering, pector liqui, consolidation, agophony, top of pleural effusion and consolidation. Added sound are pleural rub associated with infection, wheeze, asthma, COPD, infection, cardiac failure, crackles, pulmonary fibrosis, and cardiac failure (COPD). The breath sound have intensity and quality. The intensity, the incen- the intensity or loudness of the sound may be normal, reduce or increase. The quality of normal breath sound is described as vesicular breath sound will be normal in intensity when the lung is inflating normally, but may be reduced if there is localized airway narrowing. If the lung is extensively damaged by a process such as emphysema, emphysema, if there is intervening pleural thickening or pleural fluid, breath sound may be of increased intensity in very thin subject. Breath sound probably originate from turbulent airflow in the larger airways. When you place your stethoscope upon the chest, you are listening to how those sounds have been changed on their journey from the site of origin to the position of your stethoscope diaphragm. Normal lung tissue make the sound quieter and selectively filter out some of the higher frequencies. The resulting sound that you hear is called a vesicular breath. There is usually no distinct pause between the end of inspiration and beginning of expiration when the area under when the area underlying the stethoscope is airless. As in consolidation, the sound generated in the large airways are transmitted more efficiently, so they are louder and there is less filter of the high frequencies. The resulting sound heard by the stethoscope are termed bronchial breathing, classically heard over an area of consolidated lung in cases of pneumonia. The sound resembles that obtained by listening over the trachea. Although the noise there is much louder, the quality of the sound is rather harsh, of higher frequencies being heard more clearly. The expiratory sound has a more sibilant hissing character than the inspiratory. one and last for most of the expiratory phase. Added sound are abnormal sound that arise in the lung itself or in the pleura. The added sounds most commonly arising in the lung are best referred to as wheeze and crackles. Older terms such as rales to describe coarse crackles, crepitation to describe fine crackles, and rhonchi to describe wheeze are poorly defined, have led to confusion, and are best avoided. Wheeze are musical sound associated with airways narrowing. Widespread polyphonic wheeze, particularly heard in expiration, are the most common and are characteristic of diffuse airflow obstruction, especially in asthma and COPD. These wheeze are probably related to diaphragmatic compression of the bronchi, which is attenuated in expiration when airways narrowing is present. A fixed monophonic wheeze can be generated by localized narrowing of a single bronchus, as may occur in the presence of a tumor or foreign body. It may be generate a smaller airway sound, not be mistaken for stridor associated with laryngeal disease or localized narrowing of the trachea or the large airways. Stridor almost always indicate a seriousness seriousness requiring urgent investigation and management. The noise is often both inspiratory and expiratory. It may be heard at the open mouth without the aid of the stethoscope. On auscultation of the chest, stridor is usually loudest over the trachea. Next is crackle. Crackles are short, explosive sound, often described as a bubbling or clicking. When the large airways are full of sputum, a coarse rating sound may be heard even without the stethoscope. However, crackles are not usually produced by moistness in the lung. It is more likely that they are produced by sudden changes in gas pressure related to the sudden opening of previously closed small airways. Crackles at the beginning of the inspiration are common in the patient with COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Localized loud and coarse crackles are may indicate and areas of bronchiectasis. Crackles are also heard in pulmonary edema. In diffuse interstitial fibrosis, crackles are characteristically fine in character and late inspiratory in timing and said to sound like rolling your finger through your hair near your ear. The pleural rub is characteristic of pleural inflammation and usually occurs in association with pleuritic pain. It has a cracking or rubbing character, said to sound like a foot crunching through fresh fallen snow, and in some instance can be felt with the palpating hand as well as being audible with the stethoscope. Take care to exclude false added sound resembling pleural rub may be produced by movement of the stethoscope on the patient's skin or of clothes. Again, the stethoscope tubing sound arising in the patient's muscle may resemble added sound. In particular, the shivering of a cold patient makes any attempt at auscultation at almost useless. This stethoscope rubbing over hairy skin may produce sound that resemble fine crackles. Vocal resonance. When listening to the breath sound, you are detecting with the stethoscope vibration have been made in the large airways. Vocal resonance is the resonance within the chest of sound made by the voice. Vocal resonance is the detection of vibration transmitted to the chest from the vocal cord as the patient repeat a phrase. Usually the word 99, the ear perceive not the distinct syllables but a resonant sound, the intensity of which depends on the loudness and depth of the patient's voice and the conductivity of the lung. As always in examining the chest, each point examined on one side should be compared to at once with the corresponding point on the other side. Not surprisingly, conditions that increase or reduce conduction of breath sound to the stethoscope have similar effect on vocal resonance. Consolidating lung conduct sound better than air conducting lung. So in consolidation the vocal resonance is increased and the sound are louder and often clearer. In such circumstances, even when the patient whisper a phrase, example 1, 2, 3, the sound may be heard clearly. This is known as whispering pectorally qui. Above the level of pleural effusion or in some cases over an area of consolidation, the voice may sound nasal or bleating. This is known as agophony but is an unusual physical finding. Vocal phreatitis. Vocal phreatitis is detecting with the hand on the chest wall. It should therefore perhaps be regarded as part of palpation, but it is usually carried out after auscultation. As with vocal resonance, the patient is asked to repeat a phrase such as 99. The examination hand feels distinct vibration. When this is done, some examiner use the ulnar border of the hand, but there is no good reason for this. The flat of the hand, including the fingerprint, is far more sensitive. From the above, it should be clear that listening to the breath sound, listening to the vocal resonance and eliciting vocal phreatitis are all doing essentially the same thing. They are investigating how vibrations generate in the larynx or large airways are transmitted to the exam- examining instrument, the stethoscope. In the first two cases and the finger in the third, it follows that the various pathological situation, all three physical signs should behave in similar ways. Where there is consolidation, the breath sound are better transmitted to the stethoscope, so they are louder and there is less attenuation of the higher frequencies. That is, bronchial breathing is heard. Similarly, the vocal resonance and the vocal phreatitis are increased. Where there is a pleural effusion, the breath sound are quieter or absent, and the vocal resonance and vocal phreatitis are reduced or absent. The intelligent student should now ask why try to elicit all three signs. The experienced physician will answer because it is often difficult to interpret the sign that have been elicited and three pieces of information are more reliable than one. Putting it together in examination of the chest. There is no single perfect way of examining the chest and most doctors develop their own minor variation of order and procedure. The following is one scheme that combines efficiency with thoroughness. Observe the patient generally and the surrounding. Look for any medicine, sputum pot, inhaler, nebulizing, or, for example, CPAP machine around the patient's bed. Is the patient using oxygen? If so, how much? What is the rate? Ask the patient's permission for the examination and ensure he is lying comfortably at 45 degree. Examine the hand and take the pulse. Count the respiratory rate. Assess the jugular venous pressure. Check the face for sign of anemia and cyanosis as well as evidence of ptosis and meiosis. Inspect the chest movement and the anterior chest wall. Feel the position of the trachea and check for axillary lymphadenopathy. Feel the position of the apex bead. Check the symmetry of the chest movement by palpation. Percuss the anterior chest axilla. Sit the patient forward. Inspect the posterior chest wall. Check for cervical and supraclavicular lymphadenopathy. Percuss the back of the chest. Listen to the breath sound. Check the vocal resonance. Check the tactile phrenitis. Check the sacral edema. Listen to the breath sound. Check the vocal resonance. Check the tactile phrenitis. Check the pitting edema of the ankle. Thank you. This session is powered by 2.0 digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. I hope you all are satisfied with this session. If you feel any kind of problem with this session, and mention it in comment box. Mention it in comment box. I will resolve it soon. Thank you.